All right. Hey, guys, welcome back to It's Happening Now. This is our first live show. Congratulations, everybody.
Oh, yeah, it's been
I'm Chris.
a time.
I'm
Uh,
Chris. I got Scott over there. I got Greg down there, and I got Devin over there. And not gonna lie, I'm a little nervous about this, but
we all are. It's our first live show, so
right. But with that being said, do us a favor, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. You know what I mean? Let us know what you think of the videos. And on our first story today, we have U.S. Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson. I try to butcher that every time. Just defended the U.S. government violating the First Amendment during arguments in case Senate Ron Paul calls the most consequential free speech case in U.S. history.
mm-hmm.
And then, go ahead. I got to bring it up. I'm going to bring up the news story.
It is the most consequential free speech case because the Constitution states that the government cannot censor any speech of any individual, but they're going through the back door and trying to circumvent this Constitution in order to take away our ability to have our free speech. So it's illegal. It's highly illegal. And
it is. I mean, at least we have Justice Alito here to, he Justice Alito to the defense lawyer. When I see the White House and federal officials repeatedly saying that Facebook and the federal government should be partners, regular meetings, consistent pestering. Wow, I cannot imagine federal officials taking that approach to print media.
Well, what I thought,
I mean, he's not wrong. You know what I mean? Like, they shouldn't be doing that. They shouldn't be. It's like they're conspiring. You know, what I mean, conspiring together.
But what's crazy is this justice. It if you go down and you watch the video, it does say what she said specifically, but she basically says that in some instances that the government has the right to restrict speech, which I can't even fathom.
No,
wait, did you see Scott's face?
That exists.
It doesn't exist. She just, I mean, from that statement, she's anti-constitutional. I mean, there's no other way to look at it. So I don't know where she gets off saying that. I mean, she says it's the duty of the government to protect its citizens. That's not what the Constitution means. The Constitution means invaders across our borders or hostile enemies from another country, not protect us from ourselves. That is not what the Constitution deems as protection from the government. I mean, free speech is hate speech. Right. The way to look at it. If you can't say free speech is always speech that people say that you agree with, that's not free speech. Free speech is thoughts that you don't agree with or you don't like.
Right. And that's why I say at least we have Justice Alito saying like the same thing you just said. Like, you just because you don't like what I'm saying doesn't mean you can censor my speech. That's why we have, I
didn't like that, what you just said. I'm going to censor it.
Yeah.
Oh, you dirty bastard. I thought you was really saying something. So thanks a lot, Greg.
No
But at least we have him, you know what I mean? Then we have Rand Paul fighting for us too. And then you have Elon Musk that's speaking out against it. So we have some good people trying to fight this, but that's a Supreme Court justice that Joe Biden put in there and doing exactly what they want to. They want to silence you if you don't agree with what they say.
And I think that's the major issue that we're having right now, is that most of our problems are actually stemming from a much bigger problem within the court system. And that court system is full of people that do not understand our Constitution and do not understand our laws the correct way that they're supposed to be applied.
Well,
right. No, I agree.
Major issues for our freedom.
Elon Musk weighed in and the censorship of individuals on social media platforms. He said free speech is meaningless unless you allow people you don't like to say things you don't like. Otherwise, it's irrelevant. He warned, and at the point at which you lose free speech, it doesn't come back. and he's right about it.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's just like our Second Amendment right. If you once you lose these rights, they don't come back. You know what I mean? Like they're just gone forever.
Yep.
People act like what taxes? Okay, taxes were supposed to be a short-term thing. They never went away. They just got worse.
Right.
So, and if anybody is wondering, when I'm looking at the monitor, I can see myself looking over.
I have 2 monitors, so I'm going to be looking at the show, and to my left, I'm looking at
right.
So,
but yeah, things like that just don't come back. Once they take them from you, they don't come back. Once they add a new thing, it just doesn't go away. They tell you they'll go away, but they never go away. I mean, the one thing that saved us with the long rifles was there was a sunset clause in it. That's the only reason we got our AR-15s or AK-47s back. You know what I mean? Otherwise, they would have never came back.
Right. Well, and that's the same thing, too. If we ever let them get a hold of our guns, we'll never get them back. We can
you also,
you know what I mean?
Right. But you'll also lose your First Amendment right, along with anything else they want to take from you, because the guns, the not just the gun, but you're basically, the Second Amendment is what protects all the other ones.
Right.
And once we give those up, it's over. I mean, look at Australia. Look at Britain. I mean, you can't even have a knife over there.
Now they have.
I don't know how that happened. But
how do I cut my steak? I don't.
all you got to do is just look at
rip it up.
All you got to do is just look at the history. When people give up their guns, bad things happen. Like, wasn't it Venezuela that gave up their guns at one point, and then their country went to just
if
straight
somebody, a government or authority, wants to take away your guns, why they have guns, it's because they're wanting to do something you would shoot them for.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Trudeau did
That's
that,
true.
And he took away everybody's gun rights, and now you look at it, and they're jailing people for life just for saying something they don't like. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
and that right there is just a perfect example. Is our neighbor to the north?
Yep.
They took away their guns, and now they're telling you if you say the wrong thing, you will go to prison for the rest of your life. Like for saying something that's just I can't. And there's not even words for that.
Well, and I hate to say it, but it's happening everywhere, really. I mean, look, we got
all across the world
on our 3rd video for something we said that
had
people
truth
didn't like, or somebody didn't like. You know what I mean? And
it just
taken down.
It went against the WHO, because the WHO says you can't say this. Why is YouTube saying because they don't like it, we're going to take it down?
Right.
Like, and the article we read that on that video wasn't wrong,
right?
But you're just not allowed to say it because these people over here said you can't. So YouTube's like, nope, can't say that, and takes it down.
Since when have we listened to the rest of the world on anything? Like all the time.
Right. But that seems to be the trend now, you know.
Yeah. We're not supposed to, but I mean,
it's one-sided.
Right.
It'd be different if it's one-sided. It's only right, not the left. So I guarantee you, if Facebook and Instagram, they started censoring leftist ideas, all the Democrats would be up in arms right now. It would.
They would.
A different story.
Yeah,
that is true. That is true. They would be all over it. Like you can't do, and I mean they already do it now. I mean you can point at the J6ers, right?
Yep.
They don't. All they want to do is talk about the J6ers. They don't want to talk about when the rioters burnt down the church. Oh, Trump had to be taken to the bunker, for precautionary reasons.
Yep.
And they don't want to call that an insurrection. You know what I mean? You point at that, they're like, no, those were just people that were upset. They were just upset, so they did what they did.
Right.
You can't have it both ways. Like I mean, and that's not the only one. I mean, you can point at in what was it, Seattle? I mean, Minnesota. I mean, you had all these places burning down.
Yeah. Well, no, Minnesota's losing
and that was okay.
Wisconsin, but peaceful.
You can't make a distinction.
I still to this. Go ahead, Devin.
They're basically saying, and just let them at least have some credit. They're saying that their supporters are just a bunch of children that can't control their emotions, and that, you know, conservatives can't control their emotions. So, you know, if we do anything, we obviously meant to do it, and if they do anything, they have no blame because they're just too childish.
Right.
And like I still to this day that news segment, I think it was from, what was it, CNN, where he's standing in front of a burning building and he's like, peaceful protest. It's like, dude, there's a building on fire back there.
Right. I remember peaceful. Right. Oh, Stuart, where you just texted, a president stated that the scariest words ever spoken, "I'm from the government and I'm here to help." That was Ronald Reagan.
Yes, that was Ronald Reagan.
Yeah, that's Stuart.
Correct.
That's Stuart Owens. He's our biggest fan.
Our biggest fan. We appreciate you, Stuart.
We appreciate you, Stuart.
We appreciate you.
You know, if anybody else doesn't get us out there, it'll be Stuart. He's going to help our channel grow.
That's right.
All these comments, Stuart, we're loving it. All right.
No, if it wasn't Nixon, it was Ronald Reagan. He said the 9 scariest words you'll ever hear. Yeah. "Hi, I'm from the government. I'm here to help."
Yeah.
And Kamala Harris literally said that.
Yep. And she said it. I mean, and Reagan also said, if communism ever comes to America, it'll be in the form of liberalism.
Yep.
So let that think. So we're in a lot of trouble in this country, and we have a lot of problems going on. And
we have a lot of work. Good.
Bring up the next story here, if you don't mind. I can
go ahead. Do you, bro?
And the next, I mean, I think we've talked.
Do you know how to do it?
This kind of goes into the next segment, and it goes: Trump unable to secure a bond for a $454 million judgment in New York City fraud case as Marxist tyrant Letitia James threatens to seize his assets. So, what does anybody on here think about that?
More government overreach.
I would agree.
Right. Yeah. If you go down on that, man, it says where like they're refusing to let him set a bond.
Right.
Or they're refusing to set a bond so he can pay it and then secure a loan to pay the rest.
Right.
And then if you go down, keep on going down. It's where Letitia, she keeps on sending Trump keep on going.
Yeah, where she's posting every day, the calculator,
the compounded interest. Yeah, she's like egging him on, you know what I mean, or like trolling him basically. And like, when does the courts do that? Like, we're gonna mess with you so much.
Yep.
That like, because the real story is, if you read through that article right there that Greg just showed you.
I can pull it back up if you want me to.
Well, no, you're fine. I'm just saying, like, if somebody you went through it enough, but if anybody is curious, you look it up. That what they want is they want to seize Trump's assets. Yes, they don't want him to be in business anymore. They want to destroy him and his family and what his family had, their legacy, basically.
Yeah. Right. I want you to think about this for a second. That you could have a trial brought on by the government. All right. Now, it was already decided before the trial where he wasn't allowed to defend himself. His only witnesses said, no, he didn't fraud us. We made it. We gave him a loan. We did our due diligence on the property. He paid it back with interest. So it's a fraud case with no victims at all. It was a $355 million fine, which they knew they were going to get in the first place, which they charged interest and won't let him appeal it until he pays this bond.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like, in that article, it reads like he's trying to ask, like, hey, if you just set a bond, I'll pay it. So I can secure these loans. That's what he's asking for. So he can pay them the money they're asking for. And they're like, nah, bro, we want to take everything your family has built because you ain't a part of the club, bro. You know what I mean? Like, you're not one of us. We don't want you here. We don't want you in our group, our club. You're in a part of in our circle. Right. We want you gone. They don't like the fact that somebody who is in the outside even became president in the first place.
Yeah. Right. I'm kind of terrified that we have moved into a new like new society where you have to be chosen by the wealthy in order to be wealthy, in order to be upper
Not even
class.
just the, not even just the wealthy though, like the elite.
Right.
Like
Well, the elite
they set the rule.
They allow you to be wealthy.
I'm just saying there are people that are wealthy that aren't a part of the club.
Right.
I mean, look at Trump.
For now,
you know what I mean?
For now, until they start doing stuff like this all the time. That's what terrifies me. We're almost in what scares me, maybe a corporatocracy. You know, a society that just these people, these powerful, influential, extremely rich people just decide who is who, and then the rest of us are just trash.
Yeah, see Ralph's on the comment board.
Yeah. With the name.
Don't say his name.
Don't say it. Yeah, don't say it.
Say my name. Say my name.
Yeah, let the people say his name. We don't do that.
Who was the old owner?
Family friendly show, bro.
Who was the old owner of Project Veritas? What was his name?
James O'Keefe.
O'Keefe Media Group is what he OMG is what he thinks. He actually went to the gym where Judge and Gorin works out and started talking to him, saying he's his big fan. And the judge literally said, "Yeah, we need to get those MAGA people out of here." I mean, alone shows a definite impartialness to the way he's going to rule.
Right.
I mean,
There's definitely bias there.
Since when does somebody get a fine of $300-something million? I mean, that's ridiculous. Yes, he's got money, but
there's no victim.
There's no
victim.
Look,
and there's no victim exactly.
You got Trump with the 400+ million. You got his Trump Jr. and the other one. I can't remember the other one's name. They had to pay $4 million and some change. Somebody else who's connected in there somewhere, he had to pay $1 million. So they get to pay which none of them should be paying anything.
Right.
Okay.
Because they did nothing wrong.
Eric Trump and Don Jr.
Yeah, Eric. Yeah, Eric and Don. You know what I mean? They
$1,024 each, and Trump CFO Alan Weisselberg was ordered to pay $1 million.
Right, but that right there, how come Trump has to pay 400-something million?
Well,
none of them should have to be paying anything because they did nothing wrong.
Right.
I mean, it's Letitia James has been taunting Trump by posting a daily calculator compounding interest on the judgment.
Right.
I mean, that is old Soviet
yes, every day. Every day she posts the calculated compound interest because it started off as 357 million, I think it was, and now it's up to 465 or 4 something. It's up there somewhere.
Honestly, if you live in New York,
go ahead here. Hold on, I'm gonna bring that up so you guys can see it. That she posts it. Those are the posts that she is.
Oh, you found those? I didn't even see those on there, bro.
How is that even legal though? To just be like, oh, I'm gonna. Yeah, I mean, you're a judge, so you can just charge whatever you want to. That's ridiculous. That's ultimate power.
Scott, look at those.
Yeah,
that's by the day.
Plus 114,000. That was on February 24th. February 25th, another plus 114,000.
Right, and look, and she has it equaled up. Like this is what it is. You keep on, keep on not paying it. It's going to keep going up.
Yep, every day, $114,000. I mean, what kind of crazy tactics is that? I mean, that's
bullying, abuse. In all actuality, if you live in New York, you should be terrified because pretty much everybody's probably going to move all of their projects out of your state. You ain't going to have nothing.
I would if I was
right there.
So I'd dip out tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, wasn't it like I know Mr. Wonderful, or what's his name?
Kevin O'Leary.
Yeah, Kevin.
He said he was going to move his stuff out of New York, and he suggested other people do too. I heard maybe Mark Cuban was doing it too, but I don't know, man. I am seeing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Out of New York,
Letitia James ran in her campaign that she was going to get Trump. So it was show the man and I'll find the crime. And since she didn't find a crime, she made one up saying, it's fraud. And then she took the fraud case.
I still haven't figured out how it's fraud.
She made it a consumer fraud case, something like that, to where there'd be no jury. So that this is
they're just railroading them.
Right, because she didn't want a jury because what jury? I mean, I don't even know how you would have to find. You would, it would be impossible to find. I mean, any jury would end up being a hung jury on that one because there has to be at least one person out of the 12 that would be like, nah, man, there's no way. He did nothing wrong.
Right.
There was no crime.
And in order to get 12 people to find him guilty, they knew that was impossible. So they turned around and was like, no, we're going to do it this way. So there's no jury. They didn't even let Trump defend himself. Then the people that they said were his victims, or whatever, they wanted to do business with him. They said, we'll do business with them again.
Right.
So what did he do wrong? He did absolutely nothing.
Right.
Nothing wrong.
Just a question. What other areas does Trump have buildings in? Like which states? I mean, does he have in most states?
It's all over the place. Okay. Las Vegas.
I think what the state should do is band together and then sue that woman for hurting a member of their community. Okay. And then just sue the crap out of New York until they stop.
That might work.
I don't know if that's even possible, bro. I don't know.
You hit them where it hurts, which is always the pocketbook. Right. Always hit them in the pocketbook, Well,
I have up with legislation for years with like 49 other states, dude.
And that's what they're trying to do to Trump, though. They're just trying to hurt him in his pocket because, look, everything they've done to Trump since the beginning has done nothing but made him stronger. His voting base stronger. His support group has just grown and grown and grown ever since 2016. I mean, some people didn't like him. Some people were on the verge of like, I don't know, Trump's a little, he says some crazy stuff. And to me personally, I like that. I like a straight shooter, somebody who tells it how it is. But since he's been president and when he was president, up till he lost to Joe Biden, his support group has done nothing but grow stronger and stronger throughout that time. I mean, I had people who hated him at first start to tell me like, I mean, he still says crazy things, but he hasn't been as bad at it. He's gotten better at it. He's becoming more presidential, and they've grown to like him. I mean,
while you guys talk, I just found actual Trump's organization webpage that shows all his buildings that he owns and where they're at. and I think we could share that with everybody because I've never seen it. And go ahead and keep looking. And you guys,
by the way,
just the but that's not the right one. Where'd it go?
Just the craziness that you mentioned, Duffner. They did finally find something this weekend. He said something that incensed some people. He was talking about the economy, and he said he was going to, help the auto manufacturers. And he said that if he didn't get elected, there would be a bloodbath for that sector of the economy. But a lot of people take that as saying that there would be a bloodbath.
Right. He said that, and like if you watched certain things like on certain news platforms, I'll just put it that way.
Right.
Florida.
They cut that last part out. So they just said the bloodshed, and then they kind of edit. You could tell it was edited.
Right.
And they just wanted the bloodshed. What Trump was saying was, if I'm not elected, your economy that's the bloodshed he's talking about. They've already destroyed our economy. You know what I mean? Like that. That's a fact. Our economy has been wrecked and is in shambles right now. I don't see how anybody else can't see that, but you have some people that say, no, everything's going good. I mean, I read these statistics that CNN put out or whatever. And I mean, even them, CNN and them have come around a little bit and was like, I mean, maybe Trump not so bad.
Look,
that was
but
I don't think
they still fire on him all the time.
Destroyed. Our economy is definitely weaker than it was, but I mean, we are still the strongest economy in the world.
For how long?
I think I don't know.
I mean, they're running it into the ground as quick as they can.
Exactly.
Yeah, but the second best one is China, and they're built entirely on the goods that we buy from them. So until
that's true.
Until someone gains a robust economy like ours at above our GDP, no one has a chance.
I don't think there's another nation that could.
The only one.
I mean, China. Yeah, that'd be the
China, but they
China.
They may make a lot of the products. They make a lot of products, but the United States is still the largest machinery, I believe, in the world.
They are
not sure
100% reliant on our economy because they make what we buy. If we stop buying it, well, their economy crashes. The problem is we've deemed them with the manufacturing of our medicines and our
that was stupid.
Yeah. That's dumb. You know what I mean? That we've allowed them to ship in cheap steel and aluminum into America, which is a national security threat because it shut down our steel and aluminum. If we go to war and they stop shipping, where do we get it from?
Right. I'm sorry. I was wrong. I'd like to just change what I said there. Actually, Germany is the top in machining tools.
Right.
With double us. And then the European Union, I don't understand why they get to be together. And then the United States with 222.
Yeah, they have to team up. Otherwise, it looks really bad.
And then China is about 3/4 of ours. So
we own the information. We own the technology. We own. I mean, we own the internet. You know what I mean?
Right. Oh, yeah, we own all information systems.
All the business goes over the internet. We own space. We own everything. Fortunately, because I like my cushy life. I don't take it wrong. Just like Trump apparently owns the nicest buildings around the world. That surprised me when I saw that. I didn't know it was that bad.
Oh, I never even seen you bring it up. Did you bring it up?
I can bring it up again.
Yeah, he brought it up.
Oh, did he? Oh, if you already brought it up, I can look at it.
In Ohio, though, so that's an issue. I think he needs
to. Hey, you saying that he needs to bring in like a Trump Tower to like maybe?
Yeah.
What, Columbus? Like, I mean, because where else is he gonna put it? In Cincinnati? Oh, you would
imagine a beast tower, like given like a different aesthetic in Cincinnati. I like it. It would be cool.
It wouldn't even look right if they did do that because it would just be some Trump Tower and then everything else would be right here. But this is all the way. You see, my hand is up above the screen, right? That's how far it would be up there.
That would begin a building craze in Cincinnati. We need money.
I posted the link in the comments, so if anybody wants to go to look at the
page. Okay, yeah, I see it there.
It's it was quite impressive. So it was more than I thought. I've never looked that up before, but I have a knack of finding things on the internet. So
all right. Yeah, it's not too hard to do that, but you're good at finding stuff.
Yeah. I can't believe it's already been 28 minutes and 17 seconds. This is
right.
I told you we could talk for over 30 minutes.
We talk for 10 hours a day at work. We could. What the heck happened to the camera?
Scott's changing stuff. I know Scott because you would always tell when Scott's messing with stuff because he like is zoned out. He's not talking.
I just flashed. I was like,
I was thinking about doing that.
How long has he been? Stuart wants to know how long has he been building his empire? It's been going on since his
80s?
great-grandfather or his grandfather or his great-grandfather. I think it was his grandfather came to the United States and started a barbershop in New York City. And then went on the Alaskan gold rush. He chased that around. You had a hotel that he would ship down the rivers and stuff like that, moved from town to town and followed the gold rush. And then he tried to go back to Germany. And Germany said they wouldn't accept him back. And the United States opened their arms to him and said, you can come on back over here. He went back to New York City. And then just the story writes itself from that point on.
I believe Trump specifically began when his dad gave him a small loan of $1 million.
Yeah.
Yes, Trump did. Yeah. But his dad didn't want to like. Trump's whole thing was like, if I put the windows in, it'll look better windows. And his dad didn't want to do that. And then when he got that money, he did that, and it made the empire grew from there.
if it was his great grandfather or his grandfather who started it, but he
it was his grandfather.
Across the west,
seconds, guys.
he went across the west, and he ended up opening a hotel in Alaska when it was a frontier. But to answer Stuart's question,
that's what I was saying.
In 1984, Donald J. Trump bought the West Side Rail Yards, which later became Trump Place, 16 high-rise luxury residential buildings. So that answers you. 1984, is when he bought his first buildings. So he bought the side rail yards and then built 16 high-rise luxury residential buildings.
Yeah. So is anything else anybody wants to say? Because we've already made that we went over a little bit. I don't know why it was stuck, but anyway. Anything else anybody wants to add before we go? Because we're gonna have to cut this off.
Nope.
Everybody good?
I appreciate everybody watching.
Okay, so like, subscribe, share, comment. Let us know how we did. I know I started that a little rough. I was a little nervous at first, but I think we got a little bit better as we went.
Right.
Just let us know how we did. We will be back we'll be back tomorrow from 7 to 7:30. We're going to do this Monday through Friday. Yep. Saturday we'll do it a little different. It's going to be an hour-long show, and it's going to be conspiracy theories, all that. If you've seen our other videos, you'll understand what I'm saying right there. All right, you guys ready?
Yep.
I'm ready. Have a good night, guys.
Peace out. Everybody have a good night. See you later. We'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
I got to end the stream. It's not letting me end it.